Hello and welcome to an episode of the Farr Show where I'm Damon Farr, and tonight we're talking about Halo the TV series. And I know what you're thinking. Damon, what's that on your lip? This is a caterpillar. What's that below your lip? It's a flavor saver. So, let's go ahead and start talking about this show. We're going to talk about a little bit something else though. First, before we get into the Halo TV show, we're going to talk about some other things here. And when I say other things, I want to preface this by saying, if you know me, I'm a huge Halo fan. Halo CE is the reason that I am probably doing this show or doing anything entertainment-wise. Halo CE is my favorite video game of all time. So, I just wanted to preface that here because I was excited for this show. They had Steven Spielberg producing, so Steven Spielberg producing already means that it's probably going to be an okay show. But now the issue is, did they do the source material well? So, before we get into the show, I wanted to talk about the other Halo things that have happened that are show-ish. I mean, we got Forward on the Dawn, which was garbage. I'd give that an F. We've got Halo Nightfall, which is also not great. I'd probably give it an FA. I'd say it's a little better because it helps explain one of the characters from Halo 5. So I'd give that a little better. The production value was much better than Forward on the Dawn, that's for sure. But still not great. Then we got Halo Legends, which I did not see, and Halo The Fall of Reach, the animated things, which I did not watch those either. I own them both on Google for some reason, but have not watched them, and I've heard they're okay, so maybe one day we'll get to it. But before we get into the Halo show once more, I want to talk about Paramount Plus. So, Paramount Plus is the platform that I don't really need or want or have any use for. I'm more of a Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu. I use somebody else's Netflix. I use somebody else's Prime. HBO Max I get free through work, so I'll keep that one. But honestly, this is the worst of the streaming apps I've used, hands down. So I use a Samsung Smart TV, which I know isn't the greatest way to watch anything, but it's convenient. So this app is terrible on the Samsung Smart TV. When I say it's terrible, I mean I will start watching the show. I will click pause. It'll take a couple of seconds to pause. Then when you want to fast forward, it doesn't even show you what you're fast forwarding. So I'll start fast forwarding, say I get from here to here in the timeline. Right? Well, it'll start playing back this for a second or two, then do a loading screen, and then finally get there. Why? Why is this program like this? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not an app developer, but to put into perspective, every other app, no issues. HBO Max I'll give here and there, occasionally some bugs. Disney Plus works all the time. Occasionally just forgets that I have subtitles on, and then I have to turn subtitles on and off. That's fine. That happens with everything. ESPN Plus doesn't have subtitles, unfortunately, as much as I love it. Hulu, subtitles work great. Netflix, subtitles work great. Once in a while, I'll have the subtitle glitch here and there. PrimeVideo, once again, have subtitle glitch. I want every actual, streaming platform to do it where they have the Amazon Prime route, though, where you can pause it. It'll tell you what's playing music-wise, who the actors are and everything. I think that's the best way to go. So, enough about me complaining about Paramount Plus. Let's start talking about this Halo TV show, which I would say is an FAR. I'm lying to you. It's an FA. I wanted to love it more than I did. The cast, well, I did not know anybody in this cast at all except Jen Taylor, who plays Cortana. I wanted to love this show. So, you got Pablo Schuver as Master Chief Petty Officer John 117. He's playing Master Chief, let's just be honest. We all know who Master Chief is. So, I think it was a cool idea to put him as Master Chief. I think he did well when he was in the armor. When he was in the armor. Other than that, he was not in the armor, really, ever, which kind of sucked. You got Olive Gray as Commander Miranda Keys. So, I thought she did okay. Charlie Murphy as McKee. The thing I said to my buddy, and spoiler alert, she's the love interest of the show. I knew that right from the start. Right when they showed her and said that she was special, and then they said John was special, I'm like, they're gonna fall in love. Master Chief only falls in love with Cortana in the games, pretty much. And I wouldn't even say it's like a love, like, it's more of just a, we work well together, we're perfect together type of a thing. Not love, but you know what I mean. They're more efficient together. Danny Spini as Captain Jacob Keyes. He was alright as well. Jen Taylor as Cortana. And then Natasha Melhorn as Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Halsey. I think she does pretty good as well. She really plays the I'm a psychopath pretty well. So I think she did the best. Cast overall, honestly, pretty forgettable. The guy who plays Master Chief, once again, does really well. But they take him out of the armor. That's one of the biggest things. They take off his helmet right away, and he's pretty much throughout the show without his helmet. They should have went the Mandalorian route and made him wear the helmet. Except like 1 or 2 scenes. That would have made sense. But sure. So, the plot is nothing like the games here. Master Chief acts out of character. He finds an object that will lead to the Halo ring. He falls in love, gets betrayed by Halsey, who he considers a mother. Then his lover McKee betrays him, and then finally finds a map to the Halo ring, and the show ends. Ironically enough, I said to my buddy when we started watching the show and they showed McKee, I said, that's going to be the love interest, and how much do you want to bet the show is going to end with them saying, well, Halo ring's in the next season? The reason I paused is because, you know, if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about here. They don't go to the Halo ring. So, bigger thing to point out here, I didn't really want to go too much in the plot because it's just saddening. It's not even Halo. Like, if they would have picked a different Spartan and took out, like, Miranda Keyes, Jen Taylor as Cortana, you know, Halsey, if they would have taken out all these characters and just made it random Spartans, I think this could have worked, honestly. Like, I get that it's not a canon story to the games, but it's still one of those situations where you ruin you take your source material, right? And you completely do something different. I understand that to adapt anything, you've got to change some things. But this is one of those situations where you change too much. The main thing about Master Chief is he's a guy. He's pretty much a walking cyborg. He doesn't have much emotion, except in Halo 4, where they give him some emotion, and that's because, spoiler alert, Cortana dies. So it makes sense that he'd have emotion, because this person that he's the perfect pairing with to continue to fight for humanity is gone. That makes sense. So, there is going to be a Season 3. I already said it. I wish they would have made, you know, I wish they would have done something different here instead of this. I think, personally, the way they should have went, and you can tell me in the comments below what you think of this. I think they should have went with a Sergeant Johnson approach and made it a prequel to the games. So, instead of being its own canon, give Sergeant Johnson his show to... He's the most, I wouldn't say fleshed out character, but he's the most personality of the first 3 games. So it just makes sense that you pick him to be the character instead of Master Chief. Master Chief is like that because you're supposed to become him, the player. So he doesn't talk much, and all of his actions are pretty much yours. Makes sense. Sergeant Johnson is a character that has personality. Could have picked Sergeant Johnson once again. I think Sergeant Johnson would have been a better situation. You could have picked Michael B. Jordan as well. I think Michael B. Jordan would have been a perfect casting for Sergeant Johnson. So, really, I don't want to lean on this too long. I don't want to go into it too much. But, if you had to pick somebody to play Sergeant Johnson, tell me in the comments below, who would it be? Also, what did you think of the show? If you watched it, did you watch it? Because if not, what am I talking about? If you have watched it, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of it? If not, don't watch this show if you like Halo. If you don't play Halo, maybe you'll enjoy it. So, tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a powerful night.